What is the outlook for NIO stock following the latest earnings report? We're going to dive into some numbers. We're going to dive into some of the changes that will happen very soon. How is it still bullish? Now, of course, there's some bad stuff as well. And I'm going to give you the conclusion straight up, and it's that Q2 is going to be nice, but Q1 is going to be shit. And of course, at the end of the year, we can expect a big turnaround. So we're probably going to end the year higher than where we are right now, but in the middle of the year, we're probably going to be lower than where we are right now. Okay, let me make that very clear. But what is some of the shocking statistics, shocking math that we have to look at? And of course, if we compare NIO to its peers, this is where you really get stabbed in the stomach, and what's really going on is quite shocking. So of course, one of the biggest things is SG&A. So NIO's SG&A came at 15.7 billion RMB, which represents about 24% of its revenue. Absolutely high. And in comparison, Expo only had 6.8 billion in RMB in SG&A costs, which represented 16.8%. Li Auto had 12.2 billion in SG&A costs, RMB, of course, representing 8.4%. So you can see NIO has the highest percentage of SG&A cost relative to revenue. Now, the math gets even scarier if you divide that by the number of cars sold. So if you divide by the number of cars sold, and this is for the full year of 2024, by the way, Li Auto's SG&A per car is 24,370. Xpeng's 36,150. NIO 70,920 SG&A cost per car, and this is RMB, by the way. Okay, so absolutely massive, pretty much double the SG&A cost per car of Xpeng. So you can clearly tell SG&A cost is a big problem. In 2024, NIO's average selling price is about 262,400 RMB per vehicle, and this is doing the math. And then you multiply by the vehicle margin of 12.3%. That means each car sold generates a profit of 32.3 thousand RMB. So you're paying 70.9 thousand RMB in SG&A cost for 32.3 thousand RMB in profit. That is clearly just absurd, all right? That is also why you're seeing record revenue, but also record losses. The more cars they sell, the more losses they make, the higher the losses. It's all because of SG&A, okay? They're overpaying the sales reps. They're spending too much on marketing. They're spending too much on storefront, on rent. These costs need to be cut down. The happiest people right now are the NIO sales reps, guys. I mean, these guys, they earn about 2,000 or even 3,000, 4,000 RMB per car sold. And this is, of course, even when they're doing kind of inventory clear out. Like right now, they're doing inventory clear out. They're giving out a lot of incentives to sell the car, but the bonuses are the same. And what's even crazier is last year they had some like crazy, like just nut job bonuses, man. Like some of the bonuses are just staggering. And these sales reps are absolutely raking in dough, man. They're earning a lot of money. And this has got to change, especially when you're discounting the car to get rid of inventory. You got to cut that thing down, all right? They can't be paid that much. And then cash and cash equivalents, 41.9 billion RMB, 5.7 billion US dollars. This isn't exactly cash, all right? It's also cash equivalents. So, straight up cold hard cash is much less than that, which means there's about 12 months of operating leeway left for NIO before they need further financing or become profitable before then. That's why they are targeting profitability in Q4 of this year. Now, what is the silver lining? What is the silver lining? What is the good thing that I'm quite bullish with? Okay, and I know you guys are saying, "Oh, Mr. P, how can you be still so bullish about NIO with this happening?" Well, the new cars 5566 coming out very soon, and these cars will be having their own NX9031 chips, which will boost vehicle profit by 10,000 RMB per car, I'm told. So that is actually a significant boost. And of course, the average selling price, being newer vehicles, will actually be a little bit higher than what they are right now, because right now they're doing inventory clear out. So you can expect higher vehicle cost, vehicle sales revenue, but also even better margins going forward. And of course, they're also going to launch the new 7778 7 Series and 8 Series with the 900 volt platform very, very soon, later on this year as well. And that, of course, will also have even better margins as well. Now, of course, this SG&A cost is the primary source of pain for all of us. And NIO has really identified a lot of these places that they're working hard to cut the cost down. And they said that, of course, in Q2 is where you'll see this take effect, meaning in Q1, we're still going to have to live with a very bad report. So the management said that, it's going to be even decrease in margins compared to Q4. So Q1, we're going to see a very bad report. So in 3 months' time, when we get Q1 results, just be prepared to see not so great numbers. But then in 6 months' time, when we get the Q2 results, that's when we will see some dramatic improvement in overall like margins, cost of sales, and SG&A will hopefully change for the better. But the fact of the matter is these SG&A costs are way, way, way too high. The store rent and all that kind of stuff. And of course, I know you guys all said like they should all combine it into one store, and that there was this one analyst that even asked the question on the phone call, during earnings call, like, will there be any consideration to move the Envoy car into the NIO store so that they can sell it together? And NIO, the CEO, said no, right? So if that's the case, I mean, they really got to make sure it's a lot more efficient, right? They're spending way too much on the rent of stores, NIO houses, all that kind of stuff. And Firefly, I mean, we know it's going to be sold in NIO stores, but I think they should also sell it in Envoy stores. A fellow subscriber, one of you guys, commented that it should also be in every Envoy store, because 400 Envoy stores with one car, that is absolutely not ideal, all right? And of course, if you go into one of these stores, even if they have a very big store, they have the same car, all right? One might be like rear-wheel drive, the other one may be all-wheel drive with different rims. And I told NIO that, you guys got to show something different, man. You got to show the fridge, you got to show the table, you got to fully deck out the car so that customers can see what they're buying and not just the empty car itself. And I know you guys seem like I'm obsessed with the fridge. Look, you're a family car. If you're a family car, stuff like that do matter. And of course, why not show it off instead of hide it? You have this thing, you have this great accessory. Sometimes the accessory makes the product 10 times better. And in my personal opinion, I think that fridge makes the car way better. And let's be honest, Envoy, the product itself is absolutely fantastic. The branding itself, okay, it needs some time for people to learn about Envoy. But having that said, that's no excuse to not show off your great stuff. So it's going to take some time. And now, of course, the sales rep efficiency, they got to take some time to go through the training process and everything, and then learn how to deal with the competition. So it's going to take a while before things can get better, but time is ticking. They got 12 months. And of course, I don't sense a feeling of panic with upper management, because, they have access to a lot of capital, okay? And they're the poster child of China, so they do not have the risk of bankruptcy, even though everyone's like, oh, they only got 12 months left in operating money. They're not going to go under, right? Simple as that. They got plenty of sources of money that they can get. So in that aspect, any sort of downward price movement is a blessing in disguise, because it's just panicking shareholders letting go of their shares, whereas you can in my personal opinion, not financial advice, okay? In my opinion, I can comfortably buy more knowing that there's that safety net called the government here in China that is going to protect NIO at all costs. So, we might also get another sort of that Hefei government kind of cash injection situation like when they did back in 2019. And that's totally possible. Totally possible. But what I know for sure is that NIO is not going to go down. All right. That's what I know for sure. So take any sort of price drop, in my personal opinion, as a blessing in disguise. All right. But that's my opinion. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.